Yeah, no doubt about it. And I think what really raised my eyebrow is they were saying that this old antiquated factor was what they were test firing, but the Peter the Great, which by the way is currently involved in a naval exercise in the Barents Sea as we speak, that's the ship they were firing at. It was posing as an American warship. This warship was 30 miles away. And on the bridge of this warship are all the Russian brass. We're talking admirals and other officials wanting to see this test firing. So, why are they standing on the bridge to watch a test firing of an antiquated torpedo that will run out of fuel before it gets to the Peter the Great and take 35 minutes to get there? That's that's what we were told, and that's when I raised my eyebrows and said, "That's not true. There's just no way." And so when I dug deeper, that's when I discovered it was the squall, which would get there in a matter of a few minutes.
Hmm. Yeah, and so we've talked. I don't know if you've ever heard of H.I. Sutton. He's one of our close friends of the show, and he's a submarine researcher. He's done a lot of research on like Poseidon and supercavitating torpedoes and stuff. And I think we both kind of have seemed to come to the agreement that it's almost kind of impossible at this point. They're not going to get that far. There's just too much speed behind those things for them to go a very far length.
And then for like you were talking about too, that force field, like the bubble that it rides in, kind of makes it difficult to run sonar from the torpedo. You really can't have an active sonar system on the front of it, or even passive, because it's inside that bubble. And also then trying to maneuver it too is very difficult.
That's correct. And the initial squalls did have those issues. There are newer versions now that have been, if you will, reverse engineered. And I think that's really what Spies of the Deep talks about is this incident was a very significant historical pivot point. We'll look back on this now and see this as a huge, if you will, drop in the ocean that turned into a tsunami, really, because now we've got reversed engineered squalls in the hands of the Iranians. They call it a hoot.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And yeah, they can cause some serious damage in the Strait of Hormuz. The Chinese have them now. So there's this, South China Sea is in trouble because of this. And now in North Korea and so on. So we're seeing this technology now get into the hands of these other countries, and they've developed newer, better, more capable weapons based upon the supercavitation.
Right, we have a video playing right now of supposedly video of the hoot. You can kind of see it. They drop it from the side of a boat though. But it's definitely a rocket torpedo.
Well, the big concern is that we now know that most likely they have at least enough nuclear fusion to be able to create a nuclear tipped torpedo. So it is quite possible they could have put nuclear tips on these hoots. And now with the new very quiet air independent propulsion, the AIP submarines that can stay under for even up to a couple of weeks now, very, very quiet, very hard to find. That could really wreak havoc on any of the warships that we have or the minesweepers that we're using to clear out the Strait of Hormuz.